Fearing the end of civilization. The world is fucked. Why bother? This is a question that comes from our buddy William. William is a very active kid. Apparently he's in jiu-jitsu, he does yoga, he weight trains, he studies, he's smart. Right? He's no pothead sitting around dreaming up conspiracy theories. But he has been entertaining the ideas associated with how perhaps the American government, the American empire, is staging false flag terrorist attacks. The sadness in his heart that the empire that is fueled by our tax money is killing children overseas. The heaviness in his heart and his body associated with the death and destruction of where civilization is going and all the quote unquote bad things that are happening are weighing heavily on him, and he's starting to feel as if, like, why bother doing anything if all of this is crumbling down around us? There's so much death, there's so much destruction. He even talks about like rape and all the bad things that are happening. The very first thing is I would invite you to do, and I'm saying this from a place of experience and empathy, stop watching Alex Jones or media outlets of that sort. And it's not because what he's saying shouldn't have attention drawn to it, right? I don't know if you're watching him, but there may be other things that you're watching. But because you don't need to fill your mind with the negativity. It's not resourceful. Awareness is resourceful. Knowing, having a perspective associated with reality, and that's what you said here. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, I'm just a realist. Having a perspective associated with reality is great. You don't want to be one of these, like the majority of naive fuckheads that support all the wars that we're going into and really have no clue about the death and destruction that's going on or the economic games that they're playing with our currency and all the bullshit that's going on by the leaders of the world, right? To know this stuff is cool, because it's like, hey, look, I'm not so naive to think that, like, Barack Obama's gonna save us all, right? I'm not that stupid. I realize he's a fucking puppet and that there's a way bigger game going on. But once you have that awareness, it's transformative in and of itself, and you don't need to wrap your mind around it. You don't need to fill your consciousness with all of what's going on. And it doesn't mean to be callous. It doesn't, I'm not asking you not to care. What I'm asking you to do is to focus your attention on what you're going to do. Not what's happening. Don't focus on the death and destruction. It's happening. It's sad. If you wrap your mind around it, you will be depressed. It's horrific. I just watched a documentary about Native Americans and Western expansion, and the death and destruction, the ethnic cleansing, the genocide of the people that lived on this land by the Europeans is horrific, saddening to the core. Awareness is transformative in and of itself, but now what you do is you get up and you focus on how you're going to support people in growing stronger. How are you going to become a stronger version of yourself and support other people? Because if you're not doing that, your mind is going to be left open for negative influences to drag you down into the depths of despair and depression like you are approaching right now. You have to stop watching it. You have to stop turning on the news. I don't know what's going on with the news. People tell me, I'll go on Facebook and people will be like, oh, bombs went off in Boston. I didn't get that from the news. I don't want to know. And it's not that I'm not empathetic. It's not that I don't care about my fellow man. It's I'm fucking busy. I'm busy growing stronger, inspiring other people. I'm doing the work of good. I'm so busy doing the work of good, and this all sounds very strange because the good and bad are a story we tell ourselves. What's happening on earth is what's happening. What's happening with mankind is what's happening. If you study Taoism, the Taoists would be like, it's just the way. It's just the fucking way. We attach good and bad to it. People have been dying. This death and destruction is not new. That's kind of my point with the Native American stuff. It's not new. We've been doing this. You mentioned the Aztecs killing thousands of people 500 years ago. It's just what we do. It's what human beings do. It's what happens on earth. You can call it bad or you can call it good. It really doesn't fucking matter. You decide what story you want to tell yourself. To me, the story I tell myself is, this is happening. It's all part of the evolution of mankind, right? Whether parts of it I like or don't like, God or the universe, the Tao, is not concerned. Doesn't really care if I like it or not. Right? That's my story. We have certain hang-ups and attachments. We become very attached to the things that we like and don't like. But really, the universe does not give a fuck what you like or don't like. It's doing its thing. And we are an extension of the universe. We're an extension of God. We're an extension of the earth. The earth is just doing this thing, and we happen to be a part of it. But what gives humankind a magnificent ability, it's the best of the time, it's the worst of the times, is that we can detach from certain stories, tell ourselves our own resourceful stories, and do something about the image in our head. The image that I grasp onto is a world where there are men in particular, you know, most of you guys are men who own their masculinity, real masculinity, who are wise in the mind, developed in the spirit, and strong in the body, become strongest versions of themselves, and inspire millions of other men to do the same thing. It's the best of the times, it's the worst of the times, man. Look at this. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to thousands of you right now with this little bullshit Sony camera that was made in Japan. Talking to thousands of people. I just sent out my wristbands that people ordered last week. I sent one to an island called the Isle of Man, which is like off the coast of Ireland. I sent them to Malaysia, Singapore. I sent them to so many countries that I've never even heard of. Some of these countries I've never even heard of. I'm sending these out to. We live in a time where good can be spread just as rapidly, although perhaps more subtly than evil. We see the bombs dropping, but what we don't see on the news are the thousands and thousands of young men, 14 perhaps to 24, that are growing stronger through what I've decided to do with my life. I'm not putting myself on a pedestal. I'm showing you how I focus my energy. I'm focusing my energy on growing stronger myself, which means exploring new ideas, trying new things out, not being afraid of experience, becoming a role model that can support other guys and becoming stronger versions of themselves. Because if I don't do that, I'm just contributing to the fucked upness of the world. And you've got to look at it that way also. You're no slouch, bro. You're doing a lot of cool shit. And there are millions of other boys, men, people that would benefit from a little bit of insight or wisdom from you in the way that you choose to offer it. Maybe you want to become a coach. Maybe you want to build a business. Maybe you create a non-for-profit organization. Maybe you make videos like I do. Maybe you write books. Maybe you make poetry. Maybe you play the violin. Whatever it is, you're adding beauty to the world. You've got to keep that balance. If you let the death and destruction weigh you down, you're becoming an anchor to me and to the rest of us that are trying to do something fucking good. Good. They're trying to keep this balance, because really that's all it is. Good can't outweigh bad, and bad can't outweigh good. We can't have all heaven and no hell. If there was no hell, you wouldn't know fucking heaven. Heaven would be like, who gives a shit? You gotta have a hell. There's good, evil, night, day. If it was all fucking day, we burn the fuck up. You need night. Can't be all summer. You need winter. It's just a balance, right? As much good as I'm doing for a lot of people, I'm sure that there's a lot of bad happening. You know why? Because every dollar I earn, I know what's happening. Every dollar I earn from the good shit I do goes to another drone dropping a bomb on a kid in Pakistan. You can't win this game. You can't have all black and no white. You can't have all day and no night. You've got to realize this is just the way it is. That's that yin-yang Tai Chi symbol. It's just the way it fucking is. Okay? Embrace it and do what's in your heart. What you've got to do is become more subjective about this experience. Stop looking out at what's going on, and you focus on you. You focus on what you're going to do. And if in your heart you believe that you have certain values that you will not cross, there's certain things you just won't do to get what you want. In other words, you won't step on people's necks. You won't rape people. You won't take advantage of people. You can't stand to see your own hands hurting another person. right? Then you just don't do that because you're working to create balance by just supporting. Like I said, your tax money is going to go to some shit that you just don't like. Hey, God needs the devil. Devil is divine. Lucifer is the light, is the angel of light. It's all this fucking mishmash. How is the devil also the angel of light, understanding, right? Seeing. Because it's all one fucking thing. You can't get away from it. You're going to contribute to evil, but you focus on what your heart is telling you. The earth, the God, the universe is doing something in you. You just have to fucking do it. Be very aware of what your body is, the signals your body is giving you. If you're breathing deep, you feel good in your body, you feel grounded and you feel good, joyful, pleasure. You earn pleasure by doing the things that you do, then you know you're on the right path. Just do it. You're gonna die, I'm gonna die. We're all part of this evolving fucking thing. All right, so that's it. The most practical idea that I can give you is to stop looking at what you think is evil. Stop looking at the news. Stop reading the newspaper. Get away from people who are always, no, things are so bad. You choose what you're going to do. What are you gonna do? You develop your ability to do that, you go do that, and that's your only job. We've got too much fucking time in our hands, we've got too much information coming across to us. Get busy doing something. Good luck.